For those who demand the absolute best in image quality and performance, join us as we explore the top 5 high-end cameras of 2024. These cutting-edge cameras boast exceptional image sensors, lightning-fast autofocus, and professional-grade features. Whether you're a passionate photographer, a filmmaker, or a serious enthusiast, we'll dive deep into the world of high-end photography and help you find the perfect camera to capture your vision. Let's explore the pinnacle of camera technology. Number 5. Sony A1. Sony has 4 categories of alpha cameras, each dedicated to different needs. In addition to the A7 series targeted at enthusiasts, the A7R is for resolution, with the Sony A7RV delivering 61 MP, the A7S is for video and the A9 is for speed, the Sony A9 III achieving an incredible 120 frames per second burst rate. As the company's flagship camera, the Sony A1 attempts to tick all the boxes. And with its 50.1 MP sensor, 8K video and 30 frames per second bursts, I think it does an incredible job at offering all-round pro performance. As you're probably aware, the Sony A1 II has now been released, but honestly, the differences are minor but the price difference is huge, so I recommend going for the original model as it's way better value. Not only does it have the richest resolution on this list, it also offers 199 MP photos via the magic of pixel shift, though, like the Canon EOS R5, it requires everything to be completely still in order for the mode to work. It also promises 30 frames per second shooting at full 50.1 MP resolution, though there are quite a few caveats in order to achieve this, from the lens you're using to the AF mode to the file type, and in real-world use I was generally getting 15 to 20 frames per second. Still impressive, just not quite what was advertised. Likewise, the promised 5.5 stops of in-body stabilization don't feel quite there to me. Sony has the weakest IBIS system, in my experience, and while you'll experience better performance than a completely unstabilized system, don't expect it to be on par with other manufacturers. There are still plenty of positives, though, such as the 8K 30p and 4K 120p video, and the hybrid CFexpress A/SD card slots, enabling you to get mirrored memory card performance whichever format you're working with. Sony also holds a distinct advantage over other mirrorless manufacturers in that the E-mount is the most well-established and widely supported on the market, giving you a rich range of native Sony glass, as well as bountiful options of more affordable and exotic third-party options. Number 4. Panasonic Lumix S5 2X. Just about any modern camera can handle a bit of video these days, and in fact, your camera phone is probably the best device for spontaneous day-to-day capture. However, if I need professional quality video capture, the Panasonic Lumix S5 iX is the best camera for the job. The fact that it offers open gate recording makes it incredibly versatile, giving you the ability to output in any number of aspect ratios as the brief dictates. Panasonic has also made an interesting choice in not getting behind 8K in the same way that its rivals have, and I can see the thinking here as 6K really is the sweet spot. Whether you're oversampling your 4K, or shooting with the extra resolution in order to crop in to create different compositions or digital camera moves, 6K gives you the extra pixels without the extra processing, and storage, headaches of 8K. The S5 iX is also unsurpassed when it comes to compression, codecs and other output options. From Apple ProRes RAW to Blackmagic B-RAW, for 2:2 10-bit all-intra and long GOP at all resolutions up to Cinema 4K, HDMI RAW output and SSD recording, as well as streaming at up to 4K 60p, via LAN, or Full HD 60p via Wi-Fi, you won't get better unless you look at dedicated cinema cameras. Crucially, Panasonic has finally got the autofocus monkey off its back. This is its first camera to adopt phase detect AF, and I can't put into words just how transformative it is. Previously I could never trust a Lumix camera to reliably focus for me, but now this is a camera I can use on a shoot without having to worry about the recordings. Throw in dual native ISO for ultra-clean capture, and unlimited recording at all resolutions, and video doesn't get better than this. Number 3. Nikon D850. While I can think of better DSLRs for specific purposes, the Canon EOS R5 Mark III is superior for pure sports. For example, there's no better all-purpose DSLR than the mighty Nikon D850. A resolution beast, offering 45.7 MP stills, it's still relatively fast for a DSLR with a continuous shooting speed of 7 frames per second, or 9 frames per second if you purchase the optional battery grip, meaning this still a capable performer for fast action like wildlife. The autofocus system is primitive, compared to the AI-informed AF of its mirrorless rivals, that feature cutting-edge subject detection and tracking, but what it lacks in intelligence it makes up for in robustness. The D850 may not automatically recognize every species of wildlife, but I know I can trust it once I tell it where to focus. While mirrorless cameras are technologically more advanced, there are advantages to DSLRs, the big one, for me, being the much better battery life. I've never had this camera run out of puff during a shoot. It may be bigger and bulkier, but it's also more rugged and robust than mirrorless bodies, and being chunkier means that it balances better with big pro lenses, too. Perhaps the biggest plus is that Nikon's F-mount is fully matured, meaning that every lens you could ever need already exists, and is going to be available cheaper than the mirrorless equivalent, especially on the second-hand market. Number 2. Canon EOS R5 Mark II. I was so impressed by the original EOS R5 that I bought one with my own money, and the Mark II is so good that I may have to do the same again. If I didn't need the resolution, then the Canon EOS R1 would be my top choice. However, the R5 Mark II's native 45 MP resolution is good enough for any job, and should I need more, I can upscale images to 180 MP in camera without any loss of quality, thanks to Canon's amazing neural network image processing. This camera is about more than just resolution, though. If you want the best autofocus in the business, the new dual-pixel Intelligent AF is Canon's flagship-level technology, and it's quite simply the finest I've ever used. Not only is it accurate, but when you turn on Action Priority AF for specific sports, currently basketball, soccer and volleyball, the camera also uses AI algorithms to predict and track the key players as if by magic. It can also blast out bursts at up to 40 frames per second, but you can customize the frame rate to whatever works best for you, whether that's 15 frames per second, 7 frames per second, 3 FPS, there's no need to capture a million shots every time if you don't want or need to. The Mark II continues the original R5's legacy of 8K video, but takes this to the next level with 8K 60p RAW capability. The footage is incredible, and the uncanny AF makes solo shooting a dream, but you'll need the optional cooling grip in order to shoot substantial files. Speaking of video, the camera has a useful trick for pros, the ability to shoot photos and video simultaneously. There are some restrictions, such as being limited to Full HD, but for news gatherers or anyone wanting to verify the legitimacy of their work, this could be an important tool. Then there's the phenomenal in-body image stabilization, good for up to 8.5 stops, the robust weather sealing, the eye control AF. I don't think there's any debate that this is the best camera Canon has ever made. Number 1. Canon EOS R6 Mark II. If you've just turned pro, or are just about to, I think the R6 Mark II is a fantastic place to begin. I believe that Canon's R system is the best platform, and the one I have personally invested in, but its top-tier cameras are very expensive. The R6 Mark II enables you to get started in the R system with a great jack-of-all-trades camera, and begin building your arsenal of Canon RF lenses. Then, when you have the need or the finances, you can upgrade to a camera with more firepower that serves your specific needs. However, such are the R6 Mark II specs, you may never need to. The 24.2 MP resolution is more than enough for most needs. I've shot plenty of 2-page magazine spreads, for instance, and the blistering 40 frames per second burst shooting outclasses some of the best cameras for wildlife photography. The 4K HQ video is oversampled from 6K for glorious crispness, and the phenomenal dual-pixel CMOS AF is ungodly accurate. As powerful as it is for still shooting, it locks onto your subject and holds focus like you've got a dedicated focus puller. Throw in the incredible in-body stabilization, up to 8 stops, and you get phenomenal performance for the price. The only asterisks are that the camera still uses SD cards, though this may be a plus, given that they're cheaper than CF Express, but they're slower and less reliable, and there are no options for third-party autofocus lenses. You will find all the links of these products in the description below. Comment below and tell us which high-end camera you were considering. Thanks for watching this video. Don't forget to hit the like button and share with your friends, and if you are new to the channel then subscribe and hit the bell icon for future updates.